there, welcome back to the Reading Mama, and I have another portion of my library tour. So in the first portion, I showed you my Billy bookcases that are in the room on the opposite side of this wall. And those are all of our picture books and like classics and things. Those are the ones my kids really get to, and these are the other ones that my kids get to. Now my kids can read all the books in our house that are in public places, but these are the ones that are the most favorite. So check out that last video if you're interested in that. And then I'll show you, turn this around and show you what I have on in this room. All right, so these are kind of overflow. These are all of the books that are for my upper elementary, middle school, and teen books right now. I have them in here because basically we ran out of room in the other room, which is where we keep most of our books. And as you can see, we have the toys down below for the little kids. And so these are up higher. Yes, my kids are short, so they have to get a stool, but I'm short too, and that's life. You just got to get used to it. So let me show you real quick. So on this tip top shelf, I have kind of our Christian reading books. So I've got a couple of devotionals. I've got like Hind's Feet on High Places, which is an allegory. Holy War, that's an allegory. A couple extra Bibles. Ourselves by Charlotte Mason. I've got some hymns and things like that. So that's not like, that's just stuff that I use as a mother teaching my kids about the Lord. There's my Pilgrim's Progress. I really need to get a new one. This shelf is, I don't know what it is right now. It looks like it's kind of the random because I've got a couple of geography here that are my older kids. All my other geography my kids can get free of charge. These are ones I use for school for my upper grades. And they're not, I don't know. Anyway, they're there because they're pending. Let's put it that way. And then I have our fairy tales here that are a little bit more, they're not the picture book ones. You know, Grimm's is not one that I want all my kids to read necessarily. The Blue Fairy book, I love my kids reading them. I enjoy reading them. But some of them are kind of gruesome and graphic. We also have English fairy tales. No, these ones were really graphic. This one was a really good read aloud one. Anyways, and then I have Honey for a Teen's Heart, and that's just there because I don't know where else to put it. And then we head over here, and I'll show you here. Up here are my herbal books. I actually had double of these, but in the mold problem, we lost them. And then I have drawing books here that my kids can reach to practice drawing and do things like that. Here are the ones that get read the most. Most popular, and so we have Princess Academy, Mysterious Benedict, Extremely Inconvenient Adventures of Bronte and Meadowstone, Ember Rising, and Restorationist, or not Ember Rising, well, the Green Ember series. These ones are some of my kids' favorites. They are read over and over and over. You can see my Green Ember is fraying. My kids have read that. Basically, they're going to read it till it falls apart because they love it. I think my 10-year-old's read it 3 times now, and we read it out loud as a family also. I have the Giver here, which I definitely would say is middle school age. Then I have our Little House books and some Anne books here. We actually are starting to collect a different series, so I'm going to have to gift those ones away because I have a different printing. I'm trying to get the Tundra books covers. And then we have Vanderbeekers, Egyptian Game, The Candy Makers, False Prince, Gregor, and the Overlander part of that series, Guardians of Gahul series. These are kind of like our series that are for older kids. The Marguerite Henry books are over here, and that's in the wrong place. So yeah, that's what's going on that shelf. And so that you can see that's all upper elementary, kind of middle school reading. If you have a question about a specific book here, let me know and I will try to let you know about that. Up here, I have Hardy Boys. I have some that were my dad's and then some newer ones in that side. And then I have Nancy Drew. Again, we have some older ones and some newer. And those my kids don't really love, but they go through this kick. Every now and then, one of them will pick up a Hardy Boy or they'll pick up a Nancy Drew, and they'll read all of those books, and then they're like, I'm done. So that's what's going on there. Then these are definitely middle grade ones. So Spice Girl we love, but I only let my kids read up to about book 12, I think, because it has some content stuff that I don't like after that. And Redwall. Sorry, child interruption there. And then I have Watership Down, City of Ember, Miss Mantle. A lot of times when I have a series like this, I'll get a few of the books. I won't necessarily buy all of them as space. And then also it allows them to have something that they know they can look for at the library. So like, you know, we have first 3, but they know they can get the others. We've got 3 of these, they can get the rest. Same with Miss Mantle, City of Ember, though Miss Mantle is getting harder to find. These we might be getting rid of, the Swallow on Amazon. My kids just don't love it. Then I have Margaret, what is it? Margaret something Peterson. There we go. So this is the Missing series, and I absolutely love it because it's like historical fiction meets science fiction, and it's just phenomenal. I love it. We did buy all of those because I frankly needed to read through the series myself. And so I love that. I definitely would say it's a little bit middle high school just because of some of the content and some of the topics talked about, and it's a little intense. Back here, I have Prince Warriors by Priscilla Shire, and that's allegorical. And my one daughter loved it, but then she said it was too intense and scary. She had to stop. Another daughter read all of them, loved them, didn't have any problems. So use your discretion there. Pre-read if you want. And then there's the Wing Feather Saga is back behind there. And again, that is a lovely one. Great read aloud, phenomenal audiobooks. But it is intense and kind of scary. Just so you know, it's hilarious, fun, great adventure story, allegorical, but it is intense. And then I have I forget, this has a weird name for the series, the Shadow Children series. And again, very intense. This is definitely middle high school level, dystopian world stuff going on there. And then up on top, I have the Mama Advent books. So that is what is in our spillover, if you will. I do have a whole box of Advent books, and I did a video on all my Advent favorites last year. You can go check that out. I think it's on this channel. Might be on my homeschool channel. But I have a whole tub that I keep under the bed, so I'm not going to go through those right now. But I do keep the Mama ones up there, and I pull those out because I do them kind of like rotationally. So I'll visit them again, and like I'll get the Cindy Rollins one down again because we do that every year, and my Christmas Carol I'm doing this year. But yeah, so this is our kind of spillover book. So that's part 2 of my library tour. And I think when I'm all of a sudden done, I'll have 6 parts to this. We have 2,300 books. I don't know if my husband understands that. I'm almost done cataloging them, but then I buy more books and I have to catalog them. So such is life. But if you have any questions about any of the titles or want to know some content considerations, age ranges, anything else like that, let me know. Drop in the comments below, and thank you again for watching. Have a blessed day.